This is a JHS Pedals Bonsai. I've got the box, and now I'm going to unbox it for you. All right, so here is the JHS Pedals box for the Bonsai. The Bonsai you might understand to be, well, it says here, here's a clue, Screamer pedal. In Canada, that's $311.25. I think it's an absolute steal, actually, and I'll tell you why. Well, why don't we just open it first? I understand this to be JHS Pedals' most selling pedal. So we get, this is a sticker, kind of nice. I've seen a t-shirt like that. They've got all kinds of gear at jhspedalsshow.com. We've got the Bonsai manual, warranty information, the controls. It's got a tone control, a volume control, a drive control, and a version selector, and I'll get into that in a second. And let's have a look in the box. This is the pedal itself. This is a packing loose paper. Now this, as you'll see, there's your volume knob, drive knob. This is an overdrive, so the more you turn it to the right, the more overdrive you get. The more you turn it to the left, the less you get, but the volume can still be increased, which gives you a boost into the amplifier and might still overdrive the tubes. Whereas if you just turn the drive up and keep the volume low, you don't necessarily overdrive the amp tubes, but you are creating an overdrive signal, a breakup within the pedal itself. Tone for, rolling off some of the brightness or bringing in some of the brightness. And then this knob, which is actually, if you look really closely, you'll see some suspicious and delicious references here. OD1, 808, TS9, MSL, TS10, XR, TS7. K, I believe, is for Keeley. And JHS is, of course, for Josh H. Scott, who is the namesake of the company. The OD1 is a reference to the pedal called the OD1, and these are all various forms of the Ibanez Tubescreamer. So these are different circuits, all contained within one pedal. And the way you dial in the circuit that you want, in other words, if you like I believe it was the 808 that a lot of people believe that Stevie Ray Vaughan used famously. But I think there were TS9s and etc. And I think there's some lore about which ones he used when. But the idea is, if you were to buy some of these pedals used, just one of them could cost you far more than this multi-circuit unit would cost you. I mean, Tubescreamers run into the high hundreds or even thousands. I'm not sure. I'm not a Tubescreamer, buyer of the original pedals. I just didn't think it was worth my while. Now, if you're a complete and utter fanatic for the sound of Stevie Ray Vaughan and you want to use all the same equipment, then you need to have this Tubescreamer that has the circuit that he used, and that might be too expensive for your budget, but you can get it by getting the JHS Bonsai. And I think that's why we're seeing all of the various branches of the same basic idea of the Tubescreamer. It's a form of overdrive that famously adds some mid-range punch to it. I'm not sure what the full argument is about why Stevie Ray Vaughan needed that mid-range honk or whatever, but it probably had to do with the fact that he was using, bright amplifiers, perhaps needed to smooth them out a bit. Anyway, bottom line, I'm really looking forward to experimenting with all of the various circuits that the Tubescreamer used over the years, the Ibanez Tubescreamer. This is not an Ibanez product, this is a JHS product, but bravo to JHS. And by the way, just as a plug to them, because their show, the JHS show, has done more for me in learning about pedals and the different kinds of pedals than just about any other resource I've seen on the internet. So, these appear to be, to me, extremely well-made pedals. And there's not only the Tubescreamer variations, but You'll see that in the lineup of pedals offered by JHS, they have a number of other multi-mode pedals, including one that's called the Rat Pack, which is numerous versions, again on a dial like this, of a pedal called the Rat. They've got one called the Muffaletta, which is various versions of the Big Muff. What an incredible way to have multiple pedals all packed into one affordably priced, high quality pedal. So there's my plug for JHS, who does not even know who I am, much less gave me anything for free to say that. And so there you have it. That's the JHS Pedals Bonsai.